Welcome to a world where underwater battleships rule the seas and nuclear submarines are the ultimate powerhouses. Today, we're diving deep into the latest technological advancements in submarine warfare, and the US has just unveiled their deadliest weapon yet. A submarine that can destroy China in just 30 seconds. As tensions between these two superpowers continue to escalate, the race for supremacy in the oceans has never been more crucial. Welcome to Military Knowledge. So, let's explore how this revolutionary submarine operates, and what it means for the future of global politics and military strategy. Get ready to be blown away by the sheer power and capabilities of this US underwater giant. Australia, the UK, and the US established a program in September of 2021 under the acronym AUKUS, which was created out of the initials of the three countries. The AUKUS program was extensively discussed on March 13th at the Point Loma Naval Base in San Diego, California, by Australian Prime Minister Albanese, US President Biden, and UK Prime Minister Sunak. Besides the submarines that are being constructed, the United States will also sell 3 of its most potent submarines as part of its alliance for both Australia and the United Kingdom. The option to send up 5 Virginia-class submarines to Australia if necessary. This would prevent or neutralize a threat from China. Vice Admiral Jonathan Meade, the leader of the Australian AUKUS task force, claims that when the new class of submarines enters service, the SSN AUKUS class is also well underway and has matured quite a bit, at 70% maturity. This class of submarines will eventually function similarly to the big attack submarines that the Australian and British navies have deployed, and that is the first instance of a nuclear-powered submarine being created for use concurrently by 2 navies combining resources and knowledge. Since the new subs are based on the UK's next-generation SSNR nuclear attack submarine, which is what evolved into the SSN AUKUS, the UK now provides the majority of the expertise and design. The UK started a program in 2018 to replace all of its operational and unfinished Astute-class submarines. The Future Maritime Submarine capability was the project's original name. It was eventually changed to the Submersible Ship Nuclear Replacement, or SSNR. A $234 million initial grant for the SSNR project was given by the UK Ministry of Defence to BAE Systems and Rolls-Royce equally to urge both businesses to consider the potential capabilities of the future SSNR-class submarines. Everything was going according to plan and quite rosy, until China decided to get a little too assertive. With all nations deciding to be combative, China selected the nation that has the best relationship and partnership with the US and UK out of all of the world's superpowers. Australia must be protected at all costs, and doing so would make the nation a global power only surpassed by theirs. The AUKUS program is anticipated to profit from the UK's decision to enhance defence spending by an additional $6 billion over the following 2 years, which was announced by British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak in March 2023. The UK SSNR project was renamed the SSN AUKUS in March of 2023 as well. It will now produce potent nuclear submarines for both Australia and the UK using US-developed nuclear-powered vertical launch systems and other technologies. Australia would become the second nation in history, after the UK, to have access to US nuclear technologies. In relation to the vertical launch mechanisms, the Dreadnought-class SSBN, a class of UK submarines, was one that the US and UK were already working on. Generally speaking, these vertical launch systems would be nuclear capable. But President Biden was explicit that the submarines Australia will receive will only be nuclear powered and not equipped with nuclear weapons. The submarines won't be equipped with any nuclear weapons. He claimed that Australia is pleased to be a non-nuclear state and is dedicated to maintaining that status. Vice Admiral Meade also addressed Australians' concerns about nuclear energy, particularly those connected to the security of using nuclear technology on land. In response, it was stated that both the US and the UK had a spotless record, having built more than 500 nuclear reactors over the course of 7 decades, traveling 149 million miles, 300 times the distance from Earth to Moon and back. Before we move forward with the USS Virginia, why don't you subscribe to the channel and like the video? This will be our motivation to bring you more military videos. The USS Virginia enters as a representative of its class. the first submarine of the Virginia class and the first one built by the US Navy that was entirely computer designed. The General Dynamics Electric Boat Division produced the nuclear-powered cruise missile rapid attack submarine known as the USS Virginia. It was given to the Navy in 2004, but it wouldn't get to enjoy its new home for too long. Just a year later, it was sent to support the War on Terror, where it displayed its strength and technology behind its stealthy weapon and reconnaissance systems. In fact, it's projected that 35 million man-hours were already devoted to creating the Virginia-class in 2007. A single Virginia-class submarine required more than 4,000 suppliers and around 9 million man-hours to construct, costing $3.45 billion as of 2021. However, the USS Virginia, being the first in its class, missed several cost reduction and optimization courses that were just too crucial for a program that cost $29 billion, which is one course for this extraordinary high cost. The USS Virginia and her sister ships that can travel at a top speed of 25 knots above the sea and 35 knots under it are able to softly and covertly swim at 25 knots. The General Electric SG-9 nuclear reactor, which can operate for more than 30 years without refueling, is to blame for America's dominance in the mobility sector. The Virginia class carried a total of 65 missiles and torpedoes on its wheels. These include the sub-harpoon missile UGM-84, whose primary interest is submerging ships. The revolutionary, highly lethal and maneuverable dual-purpose anti-ship and land attack Tomahawk, which can change the course and enable fresh in-flight target corrections. Then, Mark 48 heavyweight guided torpedoes with improved capability. It performs the same functions as all of the guided heavy weapons. No matter how big these targets are, it destroys them all. Submarines, which are outfitted with the most cutting-edge sensor suite the US has to offer, can be quite easily identified. A U-shaped large aperture bow sonar array, lightweight large aperture arrays on the port and starboard flanks, a towed TB-29 passive array for the rear detection, and a sail and chin-mounted high-frequency sonar array to detect and evade excessively lethal sea mines contributes to the fact. However, thanks to an enhanced management system that improves their capacity to operate successfully near the shore, the submarines can infiltrate teams of Navy SEALs or other special forces when they're not destroying targets, seeking for them, or dodging sea mines. This kind of espionage operation is made possible by submarines' extraordinary levels of stealth, made possible by the propulsion's general silence urethane plates that were added to the hull to muffle internal noise and absorb sonar pulses rather than reflect them. Software systems were then used to monitor and eliminate electromagnetic signatures as needed. Most people would agree that the Virginia class of stealthy, delicate, and strongly armed submarines in the Navy's equivalent of the best thing since sliced bread. And soon, Australia would be able to call upon a fleet of these American submarines. Australian naval personnel are already stationed at the nuclear propulsion school run by the US Army, and they'll probably be requested to return back to their own country to instruct the sailors who will operate the Virginia-class submarines when they do. The Virginia-class submarines will join the SSN AUKUS submarines after 10 years of duty in Australia, all working side by side, missile after missile, to send China a clear message that it should not try to cause trouble with Australia. This was all for today. SSN AUKUS will be a game changer, and we just can't wait to see how amazing it will truly be. Do let us know your opinions though in the comment section below. There's always more knowledge that you can get about the military, and for that, all you need to do is click on this amazing video. See you there.